Hello and welcome to this review of the Saudi Falcons decals or markings from DEKL'S, the Australian independent decal maker. And yeah, we're using the NHS hook for the basis of this, the canvas for our model. And I was really surprised by it. It was really simple to put together. Obviously this kit is something that raises money for charity for the NHS actually. So considering for some reason second-hand kits don't need to be any cheaper for the hawk, which it baffles me. Yeah, I thought why not, and I've still got the decals so I can use them later on another hawk that I'm sure I'll end up buying at like a model show or something, so hey, not the end of the world. So in terms of this kit, I'm not going to be fully reviewing the kit, but I just want to say construction super easy. I was like really surprised by how easy this kit was to put together. It took me no time at all. I normally for like construction, bar like the really simple hella kits, which tend to be older kits, for newer kits I guess, I tend to build them over the course of a stream, and then like the next stream I'll paint them, and you know that's a good 2 hours up to for construction. This took me like no time at all considering it's a new kit as well. I thought it would take me longer, but I think this is more aimed at children, considering I think the NHS charity itself competition that this was for was aimed at children, so this kit seems to be like the one for the best of British, which is like an introductory kit. So for anyone out there who's wondering if they can build their own hawk, buy this model kit. You will have a whale of a time. It doesn't need to be accurate, you can do whatever the hell you want with it, like have fun. I honestly wholeheartedly recommend it. In terms of my construction, I did mess something up on this bit actually right here. I don't know what I did, but I didn't test the canopy still fits until right at the end. Can you guess where this is going? The canopy doesn't fit. It is what it is. I wasn't gonna graft and go back and like cut bits out and then have to repaint them, regloss them, make sure everything no honeys, we don't have time for that here. So I just left it and thought I'll just deal with it. Like for me on my shelf, I love it. It fills me with joy, and so it's good enough, you know? Now, in terms of colour, we're using emerald green from Revell, and I actually did a lot of research into what would be best. If you don't know, there was a Fujimi kit made of the Saudi Hawks. It's incredibly rare. I actually had one, but I left it in my old house when I moved. So I don't have that anymore. And I've been wanting to build one of these for ages, so I did loads of research into what one I should get, and I ended up going for emerald green. And I was really amazed by the colour. The pigmentation was spot on. It's a really vibrant colour, you know? I did about 4 or 5 layers overall, and it was really nice. Now, in terms of the decals, as usual from DEKL'S, or however you want to say them, these come as like one sheet. So unlike a normal waterslide decal that you get in like a box kit, that you know you sort of cut it out a bit, but when it comes off the sheet in the water, it'll be like cut out specifically. These aren't laser cut, so these you have to cut out individually. If you're not experienced, it can be a bit overwhelming. Don't let it worry you. Like you can put it all on, gloss it, whatever, and then just like cut it off, file it down. Super easy. These are really forgiving in terms of how robust they are. They're really strong. You have to basically put on a load of like setting agent and like really pull it apart for it to tear. So you can be quite like forceful with it really and make it fit how you want. I did unfortunately have an experience where, for whatever reason, and I'm assuming it was just a reaction with the new gloss I'm using, it did sort of some of the decals seem to just displace as the gloss was setting. Again, I am using a new gloss. I was going to show you, but I don't have it, but it's like a Revell gloss. I've never used it before, but again, local hobby store has gone from stocking Humbrol to stocking Revell, so that's what I'm using now, and it seems better overall. It gives a much shinier finish, but for whatever reason, some of the decals seem to move, but it could well be that there was just some liquid underneath them as they were setting. So as they set, the water sort of like, or setting agent sort of, I guess, goes away, like evaporates or whatever, and then it like, I guess it just moves slightly. I think that's what happened, I'm not really sure, but I sort of fixed it in the end. It's not the end of the world. I was really happy with how these looked. You know what, I had a lot of fun putting these on. I thought it was sort of stressful in my head, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun putting these on, and I recommend like anyone try a kit like this, where you're not just like, yeah, slide it on, yeah, slide it on. Like you have to properly cut them out and then like move them a little bit, make them fit. It was just really satisfying, really rewarding. I don't really know what else to say. I just thought it was a really, really fun experience. I did all the bottom first time, and then I went and did the top separately. I did a test fit on one of the side pieces. I'm so sorry, I like for whatever reason taking it out with you. But yeah, I did like one of the side pieces and just tested it. There was a lot of sort of poking and prodding using like, I can't remember the words. Tweezers, there we go. A lot of poking and prodding with tweezers to make sure everything did fit properly. And I sort of got there. There are a few areas where I definitely messed it up. And I think it was more that I wasn't very confident in what my movements. And so some bits I sort of went, oh, maybe I should just be a bit more reserved. And actually being a bit more reserved meant that I had areas that weren't covered. Because you are designed, like by design, you are meant to trim these decals. They're not designed to fit like perfectly. You will have to trim bits. And I always forget that with these. For some reason, I've got a lot of DEKL'S kits and I always forget. So what it ends up meaning is I have little gaps, as you can see on the tail section there. I did resolve it in the end. It looks fine. There is one other thing we do need to address before we get to the end of this. So you can see where my hands are right now. When I glossed the model in the end, I picked it up sort of like that. And unfortunately, even though I left it overnight, the gloss I don't think had fully settled. There was something reacting with it that meant it was still a bit tacky. So it basically just took any dirt I had on my fingers, and my fingers were clean. But you know what hands are like, they'll pick up anything. Like you touch a surface and boom, there's a little bit of dirt on there that even though you can't see, that's what happened. And so whilst I was like moving around going, yeah, looks okay, I put it down and was like, oh, it's slightly discoloured the white, but it was not slight enough that it was like passable. It was slight enough that I could notice it. So I had to repaint that because I was painting on top of a gloss as well. I didn't want to set as well. It doesn't look super great, but I'm not going to redo the whole model for it. And I could probably sand it and do it again, but I've left it as it is, you know? I've done what I've done, and I think it still looks okay in the end. It doesn't look perfect, it doesn't look 100%, but for me, I'm still really proud of this model. I'm really happy with this model. Ever since seeing the Saudi Hawks in Malta, I've always wanted to build a model kit of them. For those of you who don't know, I visited Malta in 2017 to attend the 25th iteration of the Malta International Air Show, and I was mesmerised by the Saudi Hawks as they were now known as the Saudi Falcons. Since then I've always wanted to build a kit of them. The footage you're seeing here is from my video of my vlog for travelling to Malta in 2017, so check that out if you want to see other acts from the show as well. The link is in the description. I'll try and leave it as a comment too. But yeah, I just wanted to show you sort of my IRL inspiration for this, and wow, they're just incredible. So we are reaching the conclusion here, but you know, this model kit as a whole, and I think what I learned from this kit was check, and double check, that old like builder's phrase, because not getting the cockpit right is going to bug me for eternity. I also still used, and you'll see it in a moment, my old Red Arrows kit as a donor for the drop tank underneath as well, in between the landing gear. It's not the perfect fit for this. I think it's like the diesel container for the smoke, for the coloured smoke, but it looks okay. As usual, these kits you get 2 layers, so you get white and then a coloured layer. But in this one, it was mainly white on white. Anything else tended to go over white or was white in itself. So I didn't really have the issues that you sometimes have, where you're trying to make sure the colour completely covers the white. This time, sometimes if you didn't quite get it right, you would just paint it over a little bit of white and it would look absolutely fine. There wasn't really much more in a way of construction for this kit, or even really decals. I've sort of mentioned in more detail in my sort of written article the issues I had with the gloss setting and general construction with this kit, and most of that is user error. The decals themselves are amazing, and I would recommend if you want to build a Saudi Falcon, go and get them. They're incredible. As usual, please feel free to drop me a subscribe. It really does help me out. I love you guys chatting to me in the comments, so let me know what display team is your favorite. Let me know what you're going to build next. I love knowing what models you're going to build. Find me on Twitch as twitch.tv/MsModeler, and you can join me building these kits live as well. That's going to be everything for me, guys, and I hope you enjoy the pictures of this model. I think it turned out great in the end, even with my limitations. Bye! Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw here today to see more content as it comes. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MsModeler to watch me play these games live and chat with me. See you later. Bye!